I hope you're having a great Sunday. Well, we've spoken a lot about intermittent and dry fasting, and we still keep having hundreds of questions flowing every single day. And like I said, this is the new religion, this is the lifestyle, but we want to go over a couple of points because we're not here to make intermittent and dry fasting a fad. It should never be a fad. It's a way of living. It's existed decades and decades ago, right from the time of civilization. There was this particular way that people ate. It's in almost every religion across the world. Now, the worst thing we human beings can do is take this concept and make it into a fad diet and make it into a very, very dangerous diet. Well, we all understand today that diets don't work. For the longest time, people have jumped from one diet to another. They lose weight, they put it back on. Some people lose weight, they also lose their health, their hair, their skin. Nothing works. Every individual is unique, okay? And there can never be a one shoe fits it all kind of a concept because every human being is different. And we'll know that. So many of us copy other people's diet and we find that we don't get the same results that they did. We copy other people's exercise programs and we find out that we don't get the same results that they did. We try to increase our protein like the world keeps telling us, increase your protein and you look better, you lose weight. But so many people have increased their protein and they've not lost weight, nor do they look better in terms of their muscle mass. So this clearly shows us that every individual is unique. Now, over the last couple of months, intermittent and dry fasting has become really, really big. And when most of the people start condemning it and putting it down, for us, that's a success sign that something is working. Because not only does it challenge the snack industries, not only does it challenge the entire, a lot of the food lobbies, because you have a whole meal that's not being eaten right now. But that's besides the point. What we're trying to talk about today is quickly go over intermittent and dry fasting again, because there are more and more new followers that come in, and a lot of them don't want to put in that effort to watch the videos and understand the science behind it. They just look at what everyone's doing. They see the fantastic testimonials of people losing weight, reducing their arthritis, reversing their type 2 diabetes, reducing their inflammation, and so much more. And they want to just jump into it and make it another fad. So let's go straight into the basics of intermittent and dry fasting once more. We respect two phases of the body, the building phase and the elimination phase. The beauty of fasting, there's a whole science behind it. A science that science doesn't really want to go into too much. A science that science doesn't really want to explore in full because it's a threat to the pharmaceuticals, it's a threat to the food lobbies, it's a threat to allopathic medication. In no way do we say that you should ever stop your medicines, that you should ever not listen to your doctors and use intermittent and dry fasting as a replacement for your medical therapy. This is not a replacement for your doctor or for your medicines. It is a lifestyle, which if you use it, you will find that eventually your health gets better, and then you can work with your doctors to get off your medication because you no longer have those symptoms that medicine now has to treat. Your body has actually healed you through the process of fasting and other lifestyle changes that you make, that you can work with your doctors to now get you off medicine. So we're very, very clear about that. Intermittent fasting and dry fasting is a way of life. It is inexpensive. It is free. You don't need a nutritionist for this. You don't need a doctor for this. You need a doctor and a medical professional only if you're trying to do this fasting, if you have severe medical issues like diabetes, kidney problems, or some health problem, then it is always advisable to fast with supervision, medical or professional supervision. Other than that, it's really free. There are so many people around the country who are trying to make a business out of intermittent and dry fasting, trying to help them with the building phase and telling them what to eat when. No, it's inexpensive and free. If you understand the science behind this, anyone right now, anyone, whether you have money or you don't have money, you are able to initiate intermittent or dry fasting into your life, observe, and basically draw your own protocol of how you want to use it. So there are two phases, the elimination and building. The elimination phase is the fasting phase. That's when you're not eating. Okay, if you're intermittent fasting, you're drinking water. If you're dry fasting, you're not eating and you're not drinking water at the same time. In the elimination phase, that is where all the magic happens. Because we literally shut down our digestive system because we're not putting any food in, all that energy that your digestive system uses to constantly break down the food that we're eating every single day, the mindless snacking, the 2-hour eating that a lot of people promote, which is honestly useless for the human body. Let's break that myth right now. Very few people require to eat meals every 2 hours. Very few diabetics, some people with certain medical issues, or some people who are very, very, very weak may need to eat every 2 hours. The whole myth about eat more often and you'll boost your metabolism is utter crap. Metabolism in the human body doesn't work on the number of times that you eat. Your metabolism is determined by how sedentary your lifestyle is, how nutritious the meals are that you eat at one time, how good your sleep is. Your sleep is so important for metabolism. You can be eating every 2 hours, but if you have a night of less sleep, your entire metabolism anyway crashes, and your chronic stress levels has an impact on your metabolism. Let's understand using common sense. Okay, a normal vegetarian meal takes about 3 to 3.5 hours to digest. A non-vegetarian meal can take anywhere between 5 to 6 hours to digest. So if I'm eating every 2 hours, I've not even digested my first meal, and I'm constantly putting food into a body which already has undigested food, which means I'm creating more acids in the food. I'm making my pancreas work more hard to produce more digestive enzymes. I put the entire digestive system and body out of balance. Okay, there is no requirement for us to eat every 2 hours. Instead, eat a great meal. Let your lunch be wholesome and full. Don't try to diet or starve yourself at your main meals. That's when you'll start feeling hungry in between. A lot of you have been noticing that I eat khichdi for lunch since the last, I don't know how, 1, 2, 3 months. But you need to understand, before I started eating khichdi at lunch, I would be hungry by 3:34 and I would need an evening snack. But when you eat a wholesome meal, it doesn't just have to be khichdi. I'm giving you an example. Khichdi is a wholesome meal. It's got fiber, it's got protein, it's got carbohydrates and good fats. If I eat my lunch at 1:30, that's usually my lunchtime, 1:45, I'm done by about 2:10. I'm not hungry until 6 o'clock in the evening, which I try to make my dinner if I'm home at that point. So you need to understand, we don't need to snack just because we need to snack, because we're not giving our digestive system a break. That's where the beauty of fasting comes in. Now in the elimination phase, your body is detoxifying you, it's cleaning you, it's repairing you, it's growing. Your growth hormones are being produced, acid levels are reducing, your blood sugar levels are balancing if you don't have extreme fluctuations. Okay? All your dead cells and your sick cells are now being able to be removed out of your system. All of this can happen only when you are in the fasting phase. In the building phase, that means your cells are hungry for nutrition. So you need to give your cells all the raw material in the form of your food, your vitamins, your nutrients, your minerals, your water intake. All of this goes towards your cells, and your cells use all of these ingredients and their foods as building material to keep your cells healthy, your organs alive, your muscle mass in place, and your metabolism active. So there are two phases, elimination and building. We got to respect this. Now, number one thing that people are doing wrong, do not make this a fad diet. A lot of people say, how much of weight will I lose if I start intermittent fasting? Well, I'm sorry, intermittent fasting is not meant for you because you have the wrong attitude. Intermittent fasting is not meant for you to lose weight. Intermittent and dry fasting is meant to clean out your body of toxins, improve your metabolic activity, reduce your acids, and create the environment where your body will now allow you to drop your weight. The second biggest mistake where people make this a fad, in the fasting phase, they do well, but in the building phase, they still try to diet. They still try to, skip carbohydrates. They try to eat less food and starve themselves in the building phase. If you starve yourself in the building phase or you try to diet in the building phase, what's going to happen is you are actually taking away all the benefits of intermittent and dry fasting, and your fasting is now going to harm your body because your body's asking you for food, but you're trying to diet and you're trying to starve it because you think you're smarter than your body and you think you lose more weight that way. But guess what? The first thing that you're going to do is cripple your metabolism, which means you are going to put on more body fat. Number two, you are going to decrease your immunity because your cells are asking you for nutrition, but your oversmart mind thinks that you shouldn't give it nutrition. And the fourth thing that's going to happen is your energy levels are going to crash, and after a while your intermittent fasting is going to produce headaches, migraines, a lot more acid, basically do the opposite of what it really should be doing. So do not make it a fad. Be patient. Okay, this is a system that is natural to your body. You be patient for your results. If it took you 2-3 years to put on all of that weight because of a poor lifestyle, you're not going to lose it in 1 to 2 to 3, 4 months because you think there's a quick fix. Intermittent and dry fasting is a science. It is not your quick fix tablet that's going to work for you, even though it gives you fantastic results. The second mistake that people are doing, listen to your body. Just because your friends are doing 16 hours or 18 hours doesn't mean your body needs 16 to 18 hours. No one has the ability or intelligence to decide how many hours your body needs to fast except your body. Yes, we want a minimum of 12. It could be a maximum of 18, 20, 24, depending on your body. But you see, it's become a fad. So if some social group is doing 18 hours, everyone in that group thinks, oh, I need to do 18 hours. If someone else is doing 14 hours, everyone thinks I need to do 14 hours. Use your common sense. For the longest time, human beings have suffered with weight problems and health problems because we don't use our common sense. We have a herd mentality where we want to listen to everyone, what they're doing. We want to compare ourselves, copy people on the screen. What you see on TV, which is nothing but an illusion, that's not real life. That is not reality. That is basically fiction that's designed to entertain you. And they do a great job at entertaining you by making you believe that that's the way you should live your life. So what we need to understand is use common sense. There are so many people today who break their fast in 12 hours with all the benefits because that's all their body needs to fast for, 12 hours. Some people do it in 13, some people do it in 14, some people do it in 15, some people do it in 16. Everyone is unique. If you're going to pay someone money for them to tell you, professional advice to tell you how much you're doing, that's a waste of money. You need to listen to your body. If your body gives you these cravings, hunger pangs after 12 hours or 13 hours, it is asking you to break your fast. Break your fast by pushing it for 14 to 16 hours probably gets you a great Facebook post or a great tweet to make people impressed about you, but you have done more harm to your body. If your body is telling you to break your fast in 12, 13 or 14 hours, you better break your fast because it's entering the building phase where it is asking you for nutrition. So listen to your body. Now, people who are new to intermittent and dry fasting, of course, the first 2 to 3 days is going to be difficult. You may get headaches, you may get migraines because all the toxins that come out have to first get into your blood before it's removed out of your body. So when toxins enter your blood, usually we get a headache, we get a dull migraine, we feel low on energy, we get hunger pangs and all of that stuff. That's normal. But once you pass 3 days, you're absolutely fine. So listen to your body and do not play a game of hours. No one is intelligent to tell you whether it's 14, 16, 18 or 20 hours. You listen to your body will tell you that. If it's the first time you're doing it, you may break your fast in 9 hours. That's fine. Next day, try for 10. The following day, try for 11, then try for 12. Build it up slowly. Don't try to make this a competition or a game where you try to dive into 14 and 16 and then you have all these problems and you just give up and you blame the concept of intermittent and dry fasting, where all you need to do is blame you, your attitude, and your want to do it in a way which is not right. Okay. The fourth thing is you do not have to do it every day. A lot of people have made it a lifestyle. It works for them. Just because it works for them, you do not have to copy them. Some people are great with doing it just once a week. Some people do it twice a week. Some people do it every day. Some people dry fast maybe once in a month. It works for their body. So do not try to compare. And just because you see your friend's skin glowing and they're intermittent fasting every day, it doesn't have to mean that your skin's going to start glowing because you start copying them. Listen to your body. You plan it across your work. Don't let this become a stress for you. If you can intermittent fast, it's as simple. Wake up in the morning. You're not hungry, fast. You're hungry, eat. It's as simple as that. The more stress you have in your life, you'll find it more difficult to fast. So listen to your body. If you are doing an intermittent fast, do it the right way. You do not do it the way that the West tells you that it's okay to have coffee on an intermittent fast or bulletproof coffee on an intermittent fast. Again, use common sense. Who puts caffeine, something which is highly acidic, into an empty stomach? More importantly, into a fasting body. Anyway, everyone understands that the worst thing to do is to consume caffeine, your tea and coffee, on an empty stomach. And here you have people telling you to have bulletproof coffee or coffee in a fasted state. Yes, you'll be energetic, obviously, because the caffeine is going to be sucked into your cells. It's going to enter your blood quickly and rapidly, giving you that feeling of feeling high. And yes, you won't feel hungry. But at the cost of your mucosal linings, at the cost of your stomach, at the cost of your digestive system, at the cost of changing the pH of your blood and your entire system, at the cost of having a caffeine overload in your system. If you want to fast, do it the right way. There are no shortcuts. All it requires is discipline. Half the world thinks that they need their coffee, and that's why they allow coffee in an intermittent fast. When you look at the West, half of the West can't do without coffee. Half of India can't do without coffee. So just to try to make your fast easy, don't try to console yourselves by allowing your 1 cup of coffee in a fasted state. You cannot have caffeine in an empty stomach. In an empty stomach, your cortisol levels are already high. The moment you put caffeine in, your cortisol levels shoot even higher. What you're going to have is adrenal fatigue at some point. You're going to wear out your adrenal glands, and then you're going to have an even bigger problem. So if you're fasting, do it the right way. If you can't give up your coffee, don't fast. It's as simple. You can't have the best of both worlds. Or use your discipline, use your willpower. All I can tell you is most of the people who are caffeine addicts and tea addicts are no longer even having a single cup of coffee and tea after they fasted for 3 to 4 days. They just don't have the requirement for caffeine because their bodies are riding on pure cellular energy. They no longer require a false sense of energy called caffeine. I'm not against caffeine. I'm against people who use it as their energy source for an entire day. Enjoy a cup of coffee here and there. It's not a problem at all. But if you're using it to fuel you through your day, you're ignoring the biggest symptom of your body, that your cells are tired. You are sleep deprived. You don't have any energy in your body. Caffeine can be your symptomatic approach. It can be your band-aid in you, but sooner or later you're going to have a bigger problem because you're ignoring the main symptom that your body's trying to tell you. So there is no coffee, there is no lemon water, there is no green tea, there is none of that except plain water if you're intermittent fasting, or no water if you're dry fasting. Let me share some of the most interesting feedback that is coming in, and I'm no longer surprised about this. I'm no longer surprised. And the feedback we're talking about is all there for you to see on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. We have it pouring in from people across the world who have benefited from it. Number one, pain reduction. Inflammation reduction. We all know in a fasted state, as your body heals, the one thing that comes down is inflammation. And that's why I love the concept of fasting, because inflammation is the root cause of almost all diseases. What is cancer? Inflammatory disease. Heart disease, inflammatory disease. Diabetes, inflammatory disease. Gut issues, inflammation of the gut. So when you look at anything that can reduce inflammation, it can only be good for you. And we've had loads of people with arthritis who no longer have arthritic pain. People's joint pains have disappeared. People's back pains and cervical pains have disappeared. People in pain post-surgery, pain post-chemo and radiation, their pain is reduced. What is pain? Inflammation. So if your fasting is helping you lower inflammation, these are the amount of benefits that you're getting. We've had people whose cholesterol levels, their LDL has come down, their triglycerides have come down. I have a case right now from 312 to 80, which is a fantastic triglyceride level. It's got to be under 150 for most reports in 3 months. And the patient claims it is only intermittent fasting that they have now done. So it's impacting your heart, your cholesterol, sugar levels. I think we have people right now who are watching who have even reversed their type 2 diabetes, and they swear it is the intermittent fasting. Great. It could be multifactorial. It could also be because they're walking, they're exercising more, they're sleeping better, and all of these things. But I'm giving you feedback that's coming in from around the world. We have someone with a grade 1 fatty liver whose doctor apparently told them that you got to live with this for a life and take medication for at least 5 to 10 years. Grade 1 fatty liver, 4 months later, sonography absolutely clean. Immunity, we have so many moms and dads who have reported about their own immunity and their children's immunity getting better and better as they added 1 hour of fasting to their children. It's all very simple. You make your child eat their meal a little bit earlier and let them wake up in the morning. If they're not hungry, you don't feed them until they're hungry. So even children move into a controlled and smart way of intermittent fasting, and you see an immediate boost in immunity. We have people with asthma who say they are now no longer on inhalers ever since they fast. And the moment they start eating all their normal food again, they find they have to resort to the use of inhalers. So it is very clear about the immune boosting powers of intermittent fasting, because in your fasting phase, your cells have a chance to recover and rejuvenate and reboost immunity. One common thing that's coming across everyone is the unbelievable spike in energy levels. People's energy levels have spiked like nothing. There are people who don't want to break their fast after 18 hours because their energy levels are so good. There are people who have mastered running, walking, weightlifting, and everything on a dry fast and an intermittent fast. Do that under supervision, and remember, everyone's different, but your energy levels are incredible. It's like a drug. You got to feel it to believe it. You intermittent fast and you see the way your energy levels increase. It is so much better than caffeine and all your stimulants that you have in the market. Glowing skin. This has made a lot of women happy because a lot of women have now started saying, hi, our friends are telling us that our skin is glowing, we're looking better. Yes, it will, because your body's cleaner. You have more blood flow, you have less sick cells and less dying cells in your system, and that's why your skin is also glowing. I love this last testimonial that keeps coming in. My sleep has improved. We've had hundreds of people who have said that because of their fasting, the quality of their sleep has improved at night. And for me, this is huge because all the magic happens while you sleep. So anything that can improve sleep is great for you. And anti-aging, of course, we have the elderly generation that's now doing this, saying that they feel younger and they look younger. Why? Because we've been eating too much food for the longest time. Our mindsets have been programmed to believe that we need to snack and eat, and we've been just constantly eating. The amount of greed and gluttony in our world is at its highest point right now. By calorie restriction, there's enough of science, let me say medical science, to show that calorie restriction, putting less calories in your body, is one of the best ways to slow down aging. So as you can see, intermittent and dry fasting is the new religion. It's the way of the world. But now, let me also say, a lot of people can't do it. So don't try to force yourself. Some people need their breakfast. Eat your breakfast. Like I said, if it suits you, good. If it doesn't suit you, don't do it. Don't try to force it on yourself. But in most cases, there are right now thousands of people who have made this a lifestyle. And when you start following them on Facebook and you see their testimonials, we like to keep everything open. All these testimonials, everything that I keep telling you about intermittent and dry fasting, no one is on a program. These are people who have watched the videos, learned it on their own, not spent a single rupee or a single dollar to master this art of fasting. And all this that I'm telling you about, the health benefits, has all come by them doing it on their own accord. So like I always have to put a disclaimer, if you are severely sick, you have problems, do it under supervision. I do believe that intermittent and dry fasting can heal the sickest body, because I've seen that with terminally ill brain cancer patients. We have a brain cancer patient who was given 3 months to live. He walked into Bangalore when I was in Bangalore last week for a farmer's market with his wife. 1.5 years later, fasting, claiming that he is never going to get that cancer back. His PET scan came clean, and he has another scan in June. Let's say a prayer for him, because I know it's going to come clean again. And like that, we have so many terminally ill patients who have changed their lives with intermittent and dry fasting. Is it a miracle? No. Do we have a magic pill? No. It is your body's miracle. Like I always say, it is your body that will heal you. Doctors, nutritionists, people like us, we have to only enable your body, create the right environment, give your body what it needs, and then this innate intelligence of your body takes over, and in most cases, it will heal you. Have a great day, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, and breathe deep. We're starting an intermittent or a dry fast for the next 3 days, starting this evening. So if you're in, feel free to join in, whether it's 1 day, 2 days, or 3 days. Choose intermittent, choose dry fasting. New people, you can go on to YouTube and watch all the videos in detail. Please watch the videos, because once you understand it at a logical aspect in your mind, it becomes so much more easier, because then you don't have fear. But when we do things with fear, that's when we have all of these obstacles that come up with us, doubt and everything else. So we're here to handhold you through the Facebook page, Instagram, and social media. Make it your lifestyle. If there is anyone who is sick right now and has tried everything and given up hope, I encourage you to try fasting in a supervised way. It will make a difference in your life. Have a great day, everyone. Enjoy your Sunday.